Good morning, everybody, and let's bet the WNBA. We have a pretty decent slate of games for today's WNBA betting slate, and I have two plays for you guys to lock in. After a really good start to WNBA betting on this YouTube channel, I have had down days the past two. Yesterday, I went 1-1, was down 0.1 units. Today, I got two more plays that we're hoping turns things around. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel as I come out with a ton of helpful content over the course of the days leading up to the NFL and stuff like that. So make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. Play number one, we are looking at the Dream versus Sun game to go over 167. So this is at minus 110 odds at Fox Bet, but I will say you can also get the total to go over 167.5 at minus 110 odds at DraftKings, and that play is still positive expected value as well. Looking at the sharp books, they all have this total favored to go over even the 167.5. So the 167, if you do have access to Fox Bet, is a pretty good play. So looking at this matchup, Dream versus Sun, these are two top five offenses going against each other. The Sun have the fourth best offense in the WNBA. The Dream have the fifth best. But the real reason why I like this game to go over is because of the pace that these two teams play at, specifically the Dream. The Dream play at the fastest pace in the entire WNBA, and by a pretty wide margin as well. And one of my favorite stats, and this goes for obviously the NBA as well, but pace leads to scoring more, I guess I should say more points in an actual game than offensive or defensive efficiency does. So if you want to look at whether a game is going to be high scoring or not, the easiest way to determine that is to look at the pace. Now, I will admit this game is a home game for the Sun. The Dream pace slows down a little bit when they are on the road versus when they are at home. So when they're at home, they play at the fastest pace by a wide margin. On the road, it's not quite that way. They still play at a very fast pace, just not quite as fast as they are at home. But to counteract that, the Sun play a little bit faster at home. So it would be I feel a lot better about this if the Dream were at home in terms of the pace, but things kind of even out with the Sun being at home because they play a little bit faster as well. This is also a little bit somewhat of a zigzag method type of play. This is something that I love doing for the NBA specifically, is if there's ever a time where you essentially bet the opposite of what previously just happened. I think a lot of times people in sports betting get obsessed with trends and just assume if something happened one time, it's going to happen again. But the more likely scenario is that things kind of even out over time. Now, yes, there are some situations where a team just has a team's number or whatever it may be, but more often than not, things even out over time. In the last two times these two teams played, the total went under this number. Now, the first time, the total went way over, like 180 points were scored. The first time these two teams played, the last two times, it went under. So again, these kinds of things tend to even out over time. So I like the over in this one, over 167, minus 110 odds at Fox Bet. Next up, we got a play in the Sky versus Mercury game, and we are taking the Sky first half money line, minus 110 odds at WinBet. Now, the first play was a zigzag method. This is not the case of a zigzag method. These two teams have played three times so far this year. The Sky have won the first half in every single game so far. It didn't matter whether the Mercury were at home, where admittedly they do play a little bit better, or on the road. The Sky won the first half in all three games so far this year. Now, the Mercury did win their first game from the All-Star break, a pretty impressive win against the Sun, but even including that win, they still have the worst net rating in the WNBA by a full point over the second worst team, and their net rating is at minus 10. Now, I'm not necessarily saying the Sky are an incredible team or anything like that. They have the fourth worst net rating in the WNBA, but it's still twice as high as the Mercury. Twice as better. I'm not sure how to phrase that, but their net rating is at about negative 5.3 with the Mercury at minus 10. Now, I mentioned that the Mercury won their most recent game, their first game back from the All-Star break, but they have yet to win back-to-back games so far this year. They've had multiple homestands. They have yet to win back-to-back games, and they've had some pretty brutal, and disgusting losses in that stretch as well. So I am not projecting the Mercury to start out fast in this game. I like the Sky first half money line, minus 110 odds at WinBet. And that's all I got for you guys. Two plays for you guys to lock in, looking for us to go 2-0. Thanks for watching. Again, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good one.